Hi, welcome to The Truth with Tal Isaac. I'm Tal.
I'm Isaac.
Episode number 109 coming at you tonight. Big episode. Lots of good feedback from our last one about the number 2 draft. So here's our agenda for tonight. NFL playoff predictions or AFC, NFC analysis, really. Yeah, that's it.
No playoff predictions. It's August.
Yeah, bad guy number 2 draft. We did good guys last week. Bad guys. Can't be the primary character, but good secondary character, bad guys. We're going to have a fair amount of debate on this topic. The fans love it.
Okay.
Then we're going to talk about some cottage stories and some road trip chat.
A little bit road trip. Yeah, mainly cottage stuff.
Okay, off the top, why don't you talk about the Tigers first?
Okay, sure. I was going to do this last.
No, it's big.
I've got a few off tops. Okay, so, Tigers, we're not going to talk baseball. No one cares, so I'm not going to talk about the team. I just talk about the experience of going to games. Because that's why I go to the games now. It's not to watch a good baseball team.
The Tigers have some building blocks.
That's plenty. That's a sentence too much on the future of Detroit Tigers. Okay.
No, it's not. So
I was kind of hesitant to go. I was like, when do I go? Because I saw Ohtani complete game shutout, and I didn't have a ton of motivation to get back to the ballpark. Shout out Jake Goldman. Jake Goldman texts me, and he's like, dude, let's go to the game tonight. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, Parker Meadows got called up. He might play tonight. I'm like, okay, I saw he got called up. If he plays, I'm there. So we're literally waiting until the lineup gets announced. That's he was the only reason we go. So we're waiting. He gets announced, starting in center. We're like, okay, we'll go. Buy cheap tickets. We'll go. Cameron from Ferris Bueller's, fine. I'll go. It was right. It was
so
that.
You were Cameron?
I was hesitant. Yeah, I was hesitant until Parker Meadows was in center. Okay, so we go to the game.
So Jake was Ferris.
Correct. Yes.
So who's Brandon in this equation?
I don't know who that is.
Who else went?
Just the two of us.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
So we're row 19 Tigers dugout. Let's say our seats weren't there, but that's where we sat, respectfully. So Parker Meadows leads off the second inning. Just a little context. He's the Tigers' number 10 prospect. If you're the number 10 prospect on a major league team, you're supposed to be the man. That's just because there's infinite prospects.
And he's super athletic. Are we going to talk about his brother or no?
No.
Nope.
Parker Meadows is a daunting 6'5". Looks
6'5"?
He's 6'5". But he looks 6'7". Because if you're 6'5" and play baseball, you've got cleats, plus you're next to 5'11" dudes. So he just looked like a tank. So we're watching him warm up, just fascinated. Again, we are only here to watch this rookie's debut. His first at bat, first pitch takes ball 1. Second pitch, ball's coming. Sharp foul ball towards the Tigers dugout. Over the Tigers dugout.
Kind of close to where you were, but a section or two over.
The section over to us. We were on the aisle.
Too bad you were a section over.
So we're section over on the aisle. As soon as the ball's in the air, I'm moving. As soon as it hits the bat, I move. And I just get ready. Just to do my due diligence as one does. Ball hits some dude's hands. A fully adult dude, not a child. Hits his hands, hits a seat, lands in my awaiting hands. So Parker Meadows, first contact, major leagues, in my hands. My section goes nuts. I hadn't gotten a ball for a while.
You're probably going nuts, fist pumping.
Oh yeah, everyone's getting high fives. The whole section's getting high fives. And the section recognized that's a cool ball. So guys are like, how much for the ball, man? Then to add to the story, Coach Rob, shout out Coach Rob,
probably our biggest fan.
Who we're going to have to give a definition of Coach Rob, because we just say Coach Rob, but we don't actually give context on who the one Coach Rob, who that man is. So we're going to have to get back. He's going to have an origin story soon.
Why don't we have Coach Rob on the show?
He's coming back on the show, for sure, respectfully. Okay. So regardless, Coach Rob is at the game. He's 4 sections over. He texts me. He's like, dude, was that you? I'm like, yeah, dude, it was me. So he saw me catch the ball, and I said it. He said, yeah, it looked like you, man. So here's the ball. I will show, it's just like a standard ball. By the way,
if you're listening to our podcast, you should go to YouTube because, you get to see the ball, you get to see our outfits. Isaac's got a good Drake and 21 Savage shirt on.
Yes.
I got a good fit today, but that's a whole separate conversation.
Yeah, you fit it out, bro.
I fit it out today. Good.
So that's the story. So shout out Coach Rob. If I got a standard ball out of game, I'm giving it to the nearest kid or the nearest Coach Rob. That's kind of my mindset. But I can't give it this one with all due respect. So cool ball. Shout out Parker Meadows, because this is my rookie card. I'm invested in him now. For the next 20 years, he's my guy. And luckily, he's been really good 3 games in.
And this video is proof of that ball's existence, plus Coach Rob's sworn statement.
Yeah, Coach. Like I will. Like I'm screenshotting Coach Rob's text. Like I have eyewitnesses. The whole section that got a high five. They will say that this is the ball. Okay, that's all I got. Just thank you.
Good off the top. We had a little bit of debate about whether we should have a bit of fantasy football discussion for the next episode. Bill Simmons did one today, so I think we should probably do a little fantasy discussion next week.
Okay, so the difference with us and Bill Simmons is
really not much.
So Bill Simmons and his listeners aren't in fantasy leagues together. Our listeners are in fantasy leagues with me and you. So my thing is, if
our first draft is on Sunday.
Correct.
So we'll do it post Sunday.
How many drafts do you think I have after my first draft on Sunday?
Over 7.
I have 3.
Oh,
okay. So I have 4 total, all within like a week. It's a good week. So maybe some fantasy football talk, but this is really fantasy football talk too. Because like I'm shouting out guys that I like. One of them jersey might be hanging behind me. So we're going to talk about some guys that we like fantasy-wise. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Team USA basketball. Like, basketball is just fun to watch. Ant-Man is a beast. I'm a little sad because Canada has a tough lineup and Murray's not playing. So SGA is going to have to like just take him on the shoulders and say, I'm winning.
Yep, well, they're not going to win the FIBA tournament.
Listen, right. I'd like them to like have a run at least.
I will say my Anthony Edwards stock that I have from 3 years ago.
Lots of money. Speaking
of real money, I put down a few bucks for him to win tournament MVP when the odds weren't great. And now the odds are looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Because if USA wins, it's going to go to Ant. Not Brunson or Jackson or any of those guys. It's going to go to Ant. Shout out Ant, man.
Okay. Is Dame going to get traded?
I'm not even talking about this tonight.
Okay. What about the Pistons? There's a bit of discussion between Pistons trades and Raptors trades. No. We're not talking about that either?
Well, the Pistons suck, and we acknowledge that.
Yeah.
And the Raptors suck, and they don't acknowledge that.
They should just trade Pascal. We'll take Pascal off your hands.
You got 4 first-round picks for OG. You can get a ton for Pascal. You could have got KD for Scotty Barnes, but you kept Scotty Barnes. Good decision, Masai. That's my Toronto bit. Yeah. I'm done. Respectfully. Sorry.
Lions poop in their last preseason game against the Jags. Who cares? They're never going to play other starters. A little bit of depth on offensive line and a 4th wide receiver might be nice. The whole waiver thing has changed a little bit this year. NFL used to go from 90 to 80 to 65 to 53-man roster. Now it goes from 90 down to 53.
What am I supposed to do with all this
information? There's going to be guys that the Lions are going to pick up. Okay. And hopefully they are able to trade some of their excess like defensive linemen.
Like Okora, the L1.
Exactly.
Whatever. You're going to turn him into a 6th, then maybe sign some guy who's going to play one game. Respectfully. That's my take on that.
Okay. Do we talk about Kendrick and Baby Keem yet or no?
You can just soft launch it. Like do a bit.
Isaac and his friends have given me some homework. So I'm trying to just get a little bit updated on current rappers. And it just takes me a little while to go through because I listen to podcasts and stuff and I work a fair amount. But Isaac gave me the whole Kendrick thing.
What's it? You have to...
the whole playlist. Essentials. What's it called?
I made it.
You made it.
I made a mixtape.
Made a mixtape for me. And it's good.
Respect.
And Baby Keem had a little bit of...
features.
Features? Not collabs?
Nope.
What's the difference between a collab and a feature?
Collab isn't a thing. Feature is. So that's the difference there. One of them exists. One of them doesn't.
Well, collaborate.
Yeah, that's I know the word. I know the branch and the root word. Yeah, I get that. Collab is used maybe in the fashion industry, but again, that's probably not why you're listening to the show.
Although my fit today, very fashionable. Okay, good playlist that you gave me, kid, and I'm working on it. Honestly, I'm working on it. It takes me a little while.
Okay.
Shout out to Stoney, Mike Stone from Stoney, 97.1 the ticket. He's retiring at the end of this football season. He wants the Lions to make a run. There's a couple of rumors floating out there about trying to recruit some of the talent from The Truth to take his spot at 97.1.
Yep.
Any truth to those rumors?
No comment.
Ooh, boy. That's kind of a hot take from Isaac.
Okay, so do you have anything else to say?
No, mostly just useless stuff in off-the-top information.
So here's 9.5 minutes. I told one good story, and we talked a lot about nothing. I watched the movie Blue Beetle. Speaking of a whole lot of nothing, I'm not going to talk much about it. Most people don't even know. It's in theaters. It's a super movie. It's not good. Go watch Oppenheimer. Okay, there's my theater bit.
This Sunday, I'm going to watch Oppenheimer.
Yep, and we're going to wear hats.
I wanted to wear suits.
Braden said, what did he say?
He said to your dad, I'm not going to go to a 3-hour movie wearing a suit.
Yeah.
but your dad's cracked or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
So at least we can wear hats.
So Coach Rob, so we're going to give a definition of, we're going to give Coach Rob his origin story because people, they don't know who he is. He's just this being that we often discuss. He's going to come on the show soon. He'll get an origin story. I will say he said last episode that it was the best episode yet.
Cool.
So that's just pretty cool.
Yep.
Last bit, Doran. I had lunch with Doran today.
Sweet. Big fan of the show. He's been on the show.
So Doran's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
He's
us.
Yeah, for real, dude. So go back and listen or watch episode 85. That's when Doran was on in person.
Episode 85.
I listened to most of that today.
Yeah.
Which I don't listen to our show, but like Doran's great. It was a really good episode. He's coming back soon. Doran and I were together for about an hour. We covered, I think, 715 topics throughout that hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
But here's the funny thing. The Doran story is funny.
We already told this, so we're going to tell when he comes back.
Okay, that's fair.
Yep. Doran is awesome. He's coming back on the show for sure in person to talk football and maybe some Bond, because he's a Bond guy and I'm not a Bond guy.
You're not a Bond guy.
He's also a Harry Potter guy.
We all work within about 400 meters of each other.
Yeah, we do. So we'll all get lunch and talk about the Lions.
That's
soon.
a good. I can do that.
Okay. So I had lunch with Doran. Doran's coming back on the show. Episode 85 to get his first episode.
Okay.
Now we're going to talk some football.
Football's great. We love football. Let's be clear. The AFC is so much better than the NFC right now. There's just a lot of it has to do with the quarterbacks, but each of us have some predictions. You have AFC, right?
I have AFC.
Okay, I have NFC. Good.
We discussed this.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify. For a second, I thought, boy, that would suck if we both had the NFC.
I would have been him, and I just would have went off the cuff, and it would have been good.
Impromptu public speaking is important.
Yep.
Okay, what do you want to do?
So we'll just go.
Let's do two each.
Okay.
Two.
You start, and we'll chime in here and there.
Okay, so the Eagles, which everybody are saying are just going to destroy the entire NFC and come up and win like 15 or 16 games, they're going to take a step back. Some injuries, some bad luck. They're very thin at linebacker. Here's the deal. They're going to lose a lot of games they probably shouldn't. I think Hurts is actually going to get dinged up a little bit.
Why would you say that?
They're going to scrape in as a wild card team, and then they'll be nasty in the playoffs, but Eagles are going to take a step back. Maybe 10 wins.
Okay, so let me ask some questions.
Yeah.
Who's winning that division? Dallas?
Dallas. I hate to say it, but Dallas has some guys.
Okay. Oh, I disagree. The very weak at linebacker is actually a brilliant take. Did you hear that or read that, or do you just know that?
I know that. I read it.
Okay. Because that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you for saying that.
Thank you.
And
their defense, they've lost a bunch of guys on D. Now they substituted in some guys, but Jacoby Dean, they're really dependent on him.
Thank you for saying that.
Carter, who's got all the talent in the world, but no motor, did not have a good game last weekend.
Okay, there's flashes of Jalen Carter being the man. Just putting that out there. Philly has an easy schedule. I'm in on Philly still. I'm not as sour as you.
Listen, but I needed it. This is a bold prediction.
Well, let's say so. The predictions will vary in boldness.
Correct.
And
Yeah, some of them are going to
craziness.
be obvious. Some of them are going to be.
So
I don't like to say this one as well. The Bears actually take a big step forward. They got lots of young talent. They added some guys on D. Their offensive line is a little bit better, and Fields is a beast. C.J. Moore, they got a good receiver.
C.J. Moore doesn't exist.
What's close to that?
So it's DJ Moore.
DJ Moore, that's really close. C.D. right next to you in the alphabet.
CD's nuts.
Yeah, no, we're not going to go into that one. Okay, so that's my take. They're not going to win the division because the Lions are going to win the division, but Bears are going to take a big step forward. They win a lot of games.
Okay. I'm all in on the Jags. Here's my money. I am all in on Jacksonville. I am all in on the Trevor Lawrence MVP hype.
I support that in.
You're looking at top 5 Lawrence MVP, maybe top 3.
Agree.
They have a weak division. They're going to win so many games. I just want to express to people how much I am in on Jacksonville and in on Trevor Lawrence. There's my take for Jacksonville. You're with me?
Yep.
It's good.
I'm not sure I think Etienne is a little bit overrated. I think
No, it's just ATN.
Etienne. No,
Okay.
I'm from the country of Canada. We are bilingual, so we can speak French.
Yep. Sure. Le Cap.
The
The Browns are going to be good.
Oh.
Their roster,
Their roster has been great for years.
like 2 or 3 years, the roster's been great.
I think they jumped the shark. I think they missed a chance.
That's not the use of jump the shark, but that's fine. Head to toe, they are maybe the best roster in football. You can make that case. I wouldn't. They're for sure like top 3 in terms of actual roster. They're going to contend for the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to make it, but I'm not they're going to win more games than they did last year. Watson, there's no way he's as bad as he was last year, because he was statistically Zach Wilson bad last year. People aren't talking about that enough. People aren't talking about how sucky he is either. He's going to run a lot this year, because if his arm sucks, again, he is a fantastic athlete, and he's going to run. So I think Watson's better, and Chubb is him, no Kareem Hunt. So I think Chubb has a great year.
Kareem Hunt stuff's a little weird, eh?
Well, there's a couple weird things. There's some bad stuff he's done.
Yeah.
Then there's some wants to go to this team, wants to go to this team. We'll see. But that's just kind of how the running back thing is these days.
Lots of pressure on Watson. He's really got to step up.
Well, he has lots of pressure because he had the largest guaranteed money in, I think, football history. So there you go.
Yeah, plus they traded a bunch of picks for him, too.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett was giving you better minutes last year. Okay, that's my bet on I think Cleveland steps up. That's my
Okay. The Rams actually make a bit of a comeback this year, and they get to 8 wins. They're not going to make the playoffs, but here's the deal. People cannot underestimate the Stafford Cup connection, right? Both of those guys are healthy. And Aaron Donald is going to say, I'm him, win a couple games himself. Stafford Cup are going to win some games. I think, listen, they were awful last year, and that benefited the Lions a little bit. But the Rams are going to not be so poop.
I want to agree. There's a multiverse, and it might be this one, where they suck. Donald traded at the deadline. McVay retires in the offseason.
Whoa!
No, that's do you think that's crazy?
It's not crazy.
I just think...
Because, the McVay stuff has been floating around for a little bit.
Same with the Donald stuff. I don't love my head coach and the best defense player of this era flirting at retirement the past 2 years. Don't love that. And that's what's been happening. LA's going to implode. I don't know when, but it's going to happen.
Okay, fair enough. Christian McCaffrey, who is awesome, is going to get very close. He's going to be on pace for the 1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving yards. The last 49er to do that, Roger Craig, I think it was 1983. First 12, 13 games, heavy usage. They're going to use him a ton because he's awesome. The only reason he doesn't get to 1,000 receiving yards is because the last 3 games, he hardly gets any touches because they're resting up for the playoffs.
3 games of resting for the playoffs?
Game 15, game 16, a few touches. Game 17, nothing.
Okay, interesting.
But first 13, 14, a ton.
Okay, McCaffrey's great. I agree. AFC wildcard. So when you look at the AFC, there's so many awesome teams, like you said. I'm just going to present teams that are likely in the wildcard race, and you're going to tell me the 3 you like. We haven't practiced this. I'm going to tell you the 3 I like. And so ready? The Jets, the Dolphins, the Chargers, the Broncos, the Browns, the Ravens. I will give you my 3. So this is assuming the Bengals win the division, the Bills win the division, and the Chiefs win the division. So that's how I looked at the divisions. I have the Dolphins making the playoffs. I have the Chargers making the playoffs. And I have the Ravens making the playoffs. So those are my 3. Again, the Browns, the Browns, Broncos, and Jets, I say miss the playoffs. Okay. That's my bit.
So 2 of those, easy, complete same page. Broncos and Browns, I agree with you, don't make the playoffs. Russell Wilson is just not the guy anymore, and they invested too much to get him, and that's going to hurt him for a couple of years. I don't think Watson's going to come back, to kind of disagree with what you said earlier. That's easy. So then the question is, and so Ravens and Chargers, boom, 2 W's. Jets or Dolphins. As much as I hate to say it, I'm picking the Jets over the Dolphins. Listen, Dolphins have top 3 or 4 roster. They're pretty dependent on Tua, and I know he took jiu-jitsu once a week.
I love it. We didn't even talk about that.
No, we didn't even talk about that. And he's still a little guy, and I can't help but think of that hit last year where he did the finger thing. That was scary.
Okay, we're going to say good stuff about Tua. So first of all, he's not that little. He's up to 225, 230.
He's not 230.
Okay, I think I read 225. I rounded up to the nearest 230, and that's why I said 230. Basically, Tua is taking jiu-jitsu. And I'm the type of guy that reads stuff like that, and I go all in on a dude. So I am rooting. I always like Tua, but that's just it was a great article on ESPN. Just look up Tua Jiu-Jitsu, and you'll read the article. Anthony Richardson, Offensive Rookie of the Year, lights it up. I'm gonna give you some rushing stats of rookie quarterbacks. There has been 2 rookie quarterbacks to average 50 rushing yards in their rookie season. Can you tell me who those two are? One of them you should get for sure.
The dog killer.
Nope, not Mike
Not
Vick.
Mike Vick?
Nope.
Really?
RG3, which
Okay,
is one I think you
RG3.
should have got. And then Josh Allen.
Okay.
Those are the two. I think Anthony Richardson averages 50 rushing yards a game. And when you're a quarterback and you're a rookie and you're starting day one and you're in a bad division, he's going to put up numbers. And I think he wins Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Listen, I think a few days ago that take would have been pretty accurate. Taylor is probably not going to play on them this year, and that's going to put so much pressure on Richardson. Defensive linemen are just going to like tie their ears back and just run and pound him.
So maybe Anthony Richardson is statistically speaking the best athletic quarterback. He's the best athlete at quarterback in football history.
Andrew Luck?
Richardson's metrics are way better. And I like Luck.
Speed?
Dude, Richardson is
Is he
not
like
a quarterback.
4'3" something?
He's probably not that, like it's close. Just
He's a big dude. He's like 255 or something, right?
He's just I don't want him to be my quarterback, but I really can't wait to watch.
Cam Newton?
There's some similarities there. Probably a bigger gun than Cam.
Okay.
But man, Richardson, I'm rooting for him. I like him.
Okay. Me?
Yeah.
Seattle falls back to normal. Listen, I know they got great receivers, but Jackson Smith and Jigba, he's getting wrist surgery. He's supposed to come back, but I think they're probably going to make him slow. I think Geno Smith is just going to fall back to earth. Oh. They don't have a very deep defense. They've just lost so many guys over the years. Like when we saw Seattle play last year, they were unstoppable, their offense. I think they were a little lucky. They got lightning in a bottle with Geno. They fall back. Sorry, Seattle. We love you. You're so much fun, but you've fallen back.
Okay, I agree. I'm rooting for Seattle. Do you have any other points?
I do. Okay. Yeah. Tampa and Arizona. This is not super hot take. Fight for the first pick in the draft overall. Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray, even if you're healthy, will not lead you to many wins. I think both of those teams are cashing their chips, and they're just going to go for Caleb Williams.
So the only thing I wrote down on the NFC is I think the Cardinals win like 3 games. I am so out on Arizona. It's crazy how out I am on Arizona and Kyler Murray.
I looked at their depth chart, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
I didn't go that far. I looked at their schedule, and I read some articles.
Buda Baker.
Yep.
Okay, and then anybody else on defense that is even average, they had trouble picking it out.
And they don't have an easy schedule. I think they win 3 games and get first overall over Tampa. Because Tampa still has a couple guys.
Tampa still has a couple guys, but I think Tampa's going to trade some dudes.
Potentially. Okay, my turn?
Yeah. I think it's your turn.
The Titans. Titans implosion. Implosion.
You've been calling that for a year or so.
Thank you. So they were the 1 seed 2 years ago.
And lost to like the 8 seed.
Lost to the Bengals first round, which we both were on.
Probably maybe 6 seed.
Then last year they missed the playoffs, and this year I think they missed the playoffs again. It's I've been out on Tennessee for a very long time. You can't win in this era with a running back. That's just you don't win like that. Respectfully.
What's the debate? How many 7-year-olds does it take to tackle Derrick Henry?
Are we doing this now? Do we have time? We'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it 7-year-old or 8-year-old? Do you remember?
You pick a number.
How many 8-year-olds does it take to tackle Derrick Henry?
Okay, so let's break it down. Realistically speaking,
8-year-olds that play football, they're in pads.
Oh, I just had 8-year-olds.
No.
I just had 8-year-olds off the street.
No.
Okay.
That's not fair.
Like you go to your average grade school and say like, all right, I need all the 8-year-olds.
All the grade 3s, line up.
Okay, here's my...
What grade is Christian in?
No, Christian's bringing Derrick Henry down. So Derrick Henry, I think, because they're not going to tackle him, your strategy is just to build a wall. You're just going to have to build a barrier, and Derrick Henry's body will eventually give out. You're looking at about 80.
You're going to have to sacrifice about 50 of them.
You're looking at about 80 to 100 is what Albert and I talked about.
Nope.
You're taking over?
Over 150.
Okay, but think of the surface area that your standard 8-year-old picks up, and just lay them in a let's say we have 100 and a 10 by 10, like just mathematically
Mighty
speaking.
Ducks formation, so they pick a V and you're gonna funnel Derrick Henry into that.
Mathematically speaking, the surface area that 100 8-year-olds take up is just gonna bring Henry down at some point.
Why don't you ask Anson? So your number's 80 to 100, and I picked over.
Yeah.
Ask Anson. Ask Coach Rob.
Okay. And I'd like to hear what you guys think. Okay, so speaking of Henry, there's gonna be all sorts of trade rumors. Tannehill trade rumors. Hopkins is going to be pissed off by week 5. Maybe Malik Willis or Will Levis time. Neither appear to be great. I'm rooting for both of them, especially Malik Willis.
Yeah.
But I'm so out on Tennessee. I just wanted to express that.
Agreed.
Devontae Adams, trade request. Probably not going to get traded, but he's going to request a trade this year. And he's a pretty respectful dude, so he'll do it in a respectful way. But he's going to be again, talk about like pissed off receivers. Devontae's going to be super pissed. I'm very low on the Raiders. Have been for a while. It's not easy. It's not hard to be low on the Raiders, but I think they should have sold, and they're kind of doing the opposite a little. Devontae Adams, Raiders, don't like it.
That could really tilt some things.
Well, the thing is, his contract
picks him up.
His contract is so big, it's going to be hard to find a suitor.
Yeah.
It's a little similar to the Taylor thing, because Taylor wants a lot of money, so who's going to trade the assets and then pay the money? It's going to be hard for Adams to find a suitor, though. Just want to say.
Okay, this is not a hot take. Bijan Robinson goes off for Rookie of the Year. He's going to get tons of touches, partially because Desmond Ridder can't really throw it.
He couldn't last year.
Can't throw it downfield at all. They couldn't even dump off to Pitts for some reason. So Bijan, listen, he's got a lot of skills, but he's going to get a ton of touches. They're going to beat the crap out of him. He's Rookie of the Year. That's an easy one.
I think so. Just people forget, Tyler Algier is a very capable running back, and Cordero Patterson is having a resurgence at running back.
I heard they're going to trying to trade him or dump him. I don't get it. I like him.
He's a 31-year-old running back, so I don't know what the value is. But
he was a wide receiver until he was about 28.
That's what people forget when they talk about injuries. His body is not a standard running back body.
Agreed.
I don't know. There's a lot of bodies there in Atlanta.
Bryce Young, I feel bad for him because he is going to get the crap kicked out of him this year. He's good. He's stronger than I thought he was going to be. But he's got so little talent. He's just going to get beat up. I feel bad for him.
Saying so little talent around him?
Correct.
Yeah, Carolina does not have a lot of talent around him.
Gosh.
Everywhere. I don't know if you...
And he hasn't looked very good in the first couple of games either.
I will tell... So I'm rooting for Bryce Young. Good dude, I think. So he's short. He's shorter for quarterback. And I don't know if you saw the press conference controversy. I think it was with the Giants. It was after some preseason game.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll do it. So... Some Giants media guy was setting the mic up, and Bryce Young was coming on, so he was setting it up for Bryce Young, and the mic's on, the cameras are on.
It's a hot mic.
And, the guy's like, well, I'm 5'11", so should I, bring the mic down? And he's, playing with the mic, and then Bryce Young walks out, and the guy's like, oh, sorry, and Bryce Young just goes and starts laughing, because this guy was just...
Bryce handled it really well.
Yeah, I think he's a good dude, but, people are really making fun of his height. I'm rooting for Bryce Young. I'll say good dude.
Who's taller, Bryce Young or Kyler Murray?
Oh, Bryce Young. Kyler Murray's 5'4". Just putting that out there.
That little car speeding in practice.
Bengals. Love the Bengals. All in on the Bengals. Run away with the division. Joe Burrow, the contract bit there. He's the type of dude to take pay cuts and do contract stuff to allow them to sign guys. So I think he does that. Some sort of cap stuff. Because T. Higgins...
Did they do something like Mahomes did? And a whole bunch of years?
Potentially. I just think, because they're going to lose T. Higgins and Boyd, I think one of them is going to stay because of Burrow's contract. Hopefully it's Higgins. I like the Bengals and I like Burrow. I'm rooting for. That's my bit. The Jets. So I said they missed the playoffs. I think the Jets are a really good team. And they're going to be a tough beat in every game. I just don't think they're going to win enough games in that hard of a division to make the playoffs. The Rodgers buzz, I think it's going to be relatively quiet. I think
there's no way any quarterback from New York with Rodgers' reputation can have quiet.
I just think it's the Jets. There's a lot of other storylines in New York that people are going to care more about than Aaron Rodgers being what do you want to call him? Insert mean noun here.
A top 10 quarterback?
No, I was going to say something mean, like a little diva who doesn't have a family.
Oh, okay.
Respectfully.
Okay, yeah.
I think the Rodgers buzz is going to be quiet. The defense is top 3 in scoring. They're going to be great. Offensive line is super weak. That's the thing with the Jets. Again, I think they're good, not great. That's my bid.
Okay, my last take. 2 words. Brian Branch.
Do you want... Okay, yeah. I think I like Brian Branch.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, okay. Patriots defense. I'll go. Patriots defense is going to be top 5, top 3. So many guys.
They're good.
Offense, bottom 3, bottom 5. I hate their offense. Yeah. I hate everybody on their offense. I will address
Who they got? Who are their skill positions? Mac Jones.
Well, Mac Jones, I don't really care. Ramondre Stevenson, they just signed Zeke, and they just got a couple slow receivers and a couple slow tight ends, and that's kind of New England. So Herbert's the man. I said this last year. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He got a big new contract. Just look out for Herbo. Last year, I had some predictions that panned out. I went and looked at my old notes. Should I say them?
You should.
I said the Cowboys are going to lose the NFC East and miss the playoffs. At the time, they were heavy favorites to win the division.
Yep.
So that was correct. Doran said they were going to win the Super Bowl. I don't know if you remember that. Julio Jones will be a non-factor. And you're like, what, Julio Jones? Of course he will be. There was a time when he, maybe with Tennessee, when he extended, people were like, look out, Julio Jones, resurgence. And he did nothing.
He's still a free agent. Nobody's even signed him this year.
This was the big one that I landed. And this was probably just out of hate, but it landed. Aaron Rodgers takes a massive step back from his past 2 years. After coming off an MVP, I was super I hate this guy, and he sucked. So that's good to see. Week 18, 2 games I want to put on people's radar. Buffalo at Miami, very well could be for the division. At Miami, remember, Buffalo at, it's just the weather stuff. That'll be fun. And Minnesota at Detroit. 2 games. We might want to get tickets for that game now. I don't know when we'll be back from break because they're they're cheap-ish now. But there's a chance that's a $400 ticket soon because that might be for the division.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a playoff game. That's my bit on football. I really look forward to football.
Okay.
And do you have anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Good job, football.
Good job, football.
Okay.
Go football.
So what are we going to talk about? Do you want to talk about
Movie
your
bad,
draft?
guys. We got to
set it up.
We do the draft. Okay, so this topic came up a little while ago. So last week's episode, episode number 108. Look it up on all your streaming platforms and YouTube. There's lots of great characters, supporting actors that maybe don't get as much love as they need to. So what we decided to do is do a draft of those characters. The number 2 guys, the ones who don't get as much love as they need to, like Rod from Get Out was an example.
Doc.
Doc Brown from Back to the Future.
Dale Doback, Step Brothers.
Cameron from
Ferris Bueller,
yep. That kind of stuff. So we decided now we're going to do a bad guy one. A couple of my guys, it's debatable whether they fit into the number 2 bad guy.
So the way that we're supposed to do it is your secondary villain. So villain sidekicks, villain henchmen. I don't know how he did this. He wanted to get villains that aren't in it a ton, which is just has controversy written all over it.
Sure does.
So I'll let you go first, and we're going to try to get villains that play a secondary role to the primary villain.
Okay.
That's how I...
First pick overall is Captain Hadley from Shawshank Redemption. He was a dolt, but he was a bad guy. He's the one who shot people because the warden said so. He was the warden's lackey. So Captain Hadley goes first.
Now that is the definition of a number 2. That's a great pick. I think it's a little early, but it's a great pick. I'm gonna go with. I'm kind of surprised you didn't pick him. I'll go with Buffalo Bill. Maybe the creepiest villain in any movie.
Oh my gosh, he was scary.
Buffalo Bill, Silence of the Lambs, secondary villain to Hannibal Lecter.
Agreed.
Hannibal Lecter's not even in it a ton.
Nope.
But Buffalo Bill, just super, super, super freaky. That's my first pick.
Okay. Now I need a little bit of comedy here. We're going to go with Miles Finch, who's the angry elf from the movie Elf. Possibly he could be a South Pole elf, but Miles Finch, he was mean. And he did jujitsu to Elf, and
Not jujitsu.
he did.
That's
People like Miles Finch.
Okay, that's a weird pick.
It's a bit weird, but
for
I need
the second round.
You know what? He's mean.
Okay, I'm gonna go with one that people agree with. I'm gonna go with the Tannen family. Any Tannen relative.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, I had Biff.
Give me
really
Griff.
high.
Give me Biff. Give me alternate reality Griff.
Yeah.
Any Tannen, I'll take. They're all terrible, but they're all really good secondary bad guys.
True.
And if you want to say Biff's the main one, no, because there's so many. I'll just get a
I
secondary.
agree with you. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree.
I love Back to the Future. Tannins are great.
For sure. Now I'm going with kind of one of the obvious picks, and he was actually rated really high, Emperor Palpatine. So Darth Vader's the primary bad guy, but Emperor Palpatine, he's a bad dude too. He's got to go.
So what Palpatine are you getting?
Oh,
Because I'll
that's
entertain a
good
couple.
question.
I'm thinking of 2. We're recording.
I guess I'm going to pick Return of the Jedi.
That's the right pick. That's
Yeah.
the movie I'd written down. Palpatine, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Very good pick.
Yeah, that was tough.
Okay. We're going Karate Kid here. do I get, like, so Kreese, Sensei, is he the secondary? Or is Johnny Lawrence the main bad guy?
Oh, that's a great question.
So I
Actually, I think Kreese...
is the secondary.
No, I think Kreese is primary. I think Johnny Lawrence...
Okay, cool.
So you get whichever one...
Yeah, so Karate Kid, you got two bad guys. You got Johnny, you got Sensei. I'll take
Again,
whoever.
this is Karate Kid. Anything like Cobra Kai remake, that's... First, it's not a movie.
Do you watch that?
You
did.
I did watch it. Watch it with Mom.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty entertaining.
Guess when I want to watch Karate Kid, what do you think I watch?
Karate Kid.
Yeah, not some weird show with a bunch of teenagers.
What about the one with the girl?
That one's fine. That one's fine. That's
Okay.
respectfully. That's Hilary Swank. Like, it's actually solid.
Okay.
Respectfully. Okay, Karate Kid, Kreese, or Johnny Lawrence.
Okay. This character was scary and mean and didn't like her at all. But Missy Armitage she's the mom in Get Out. She was the teacup lady, if you don't know her.
Yeah, I do. I think, most do.
That was for our fans. That was a good pick.
Uh,
Why you
I think
chirping on me?
I would say that I would have to, I think she is one of the main, I would say she's the main of that family.
No,
I guess you could say the daughter.
It's the daughter who,
I don't know.
recruited the guy.
Missy goes off in the third act. So she has quite a prominent role.
She does have quite a problem.
But it's a great pick. I love Get Out. I can't complain.
Okay.
Dark Knight, Two-Face.
Good
Definition,
pick,
secondary to the Joker.
Yep.
Lawyer, super smart, lots of good quotes. Aaron Eckhart is awesome. Two-Face, Dark Knight, great secondary.
Okay. I'm actually picking a cartoon character right now.
What? I picked the cartoons.
Lord Farquhar from Shrek.
First of all, what's the name?
Lord Farquhar?
No.
Close.
Quad. Like there's a D. Farquad.
Farquhar?
Get it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm picking him.
He's the main bad guy. How is he?
No, he didn't play as prominent a role.
I totally disagree.
Okay.
I think
ask fans.
that's a bad, like, that's just like, that's
Okay,
like getting
Braden,
the
you gotta, do we call somebody?
No, we have to do the show, bro.
Oh, we gotta do the show. Okay.
Braden's working. He's at the bank. Okay.
TD Trust.
Lots of very good options. I'm going to go with one that I thought you'd pick a little earlier, just because that's how you operate. I'm going to go with Carl from Die Hard. Hans Gruber's number 2.
Yeah.
Awesome bad guy.
We're great bad guy.
Comeback player of the year at the end. Get Carl from Die Hard. You could go with a lot of guys.
You could go with so many guys from Die Hard, but Carl.
So you could go with Deputy Chief of Police Dwayne T. Robinson. I'm in charge here. He's eligible, I think. You could go with the 2 FBI guys. No relation. Lots of really good options for Die Hard, but give me Carl.
Okay. That's good.
Thank you.
I don't know if I'm allowed to pick this guy.
Bruh, that means it's...
That's debatable
Did
here.
you try to pick Moses in the hero draft?
Christopher Waltz from Inglourious Bastards.
No.
See the primary bad guy?
Talk about Moses. Did you not try to pick Moses in a hero draft?
Yeah.
So, like, I'm picking, like,
You,
Rocky.
split the Red Sea. That's some serious skills.
So, like, I picked Rocky and Indiana Jones, and you're like, Moses. Again. Who did you just try to get?
Christopher Waltz from Inglourious Bastards.
Just Christoph.
Christoph.
Not Christopher. He is the definition of the main bad guy.
Are you sure?
Dude, you haven't watched Inglourious Bastards for 6 years, and you probably napped.
I knew that was debatable. Okay.
Like that's just like
So,
if you
so
look
do
up.
I just,
No.
So do I just lose this pick?
Yeah.
Or do
It's vetoed.
Man.
It's vetoed.
Vetoed. Crap.
Okay? Look, like if you look up best movie villains of all time, he's top 5 in every one.
Is he?
Invader's secondary, in some circumstances, but Christoph Waltz here is the main bad guy of that movie. The first 25 minutes is just him. So that's just a goofy pick. So I'm taking this pick away since you brought that up. I will go with one that worked. Okay, can I pick a race or a people per se? Like
Well, that depends. If it's racist,
No.
no.
I would like all of the minions from Despicable Me. Can I do that?
No, they're great.
They're bad guys. Gru's a bad guy. There's minions. So the only question is, can I or can I not pick that entire people? Can
No,
I pick
you
that?
can't.
Okay. Can I just give me any minion? I just want one.
Fair enough.
Give me your top minion from
Top
Despicable
minion?
Me. Thank you.
Okay, good enough.
That's a good. That's
It's a good discussion topic.
That's good
content.
content.
Okay. Okay, I'm picking Percy Wetmore from Green Mile. He's the sniveling nephew that everybody wanted to just bash, but his uncle was the governor, so they couldn't do anything to him. Actually, Didn't he give him cancer?
They put him in the room for a while, and then he ends up leaving the mile. Yeah, but I don't think he gets sick.
But didn't he suck in the stuff and give it to him? Who did he give that to?
I'm not sure, but I'm not sure if you're thinking of the right movie. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't recall.
Either way, he's a good pick.
Okay. So I could go there's some deep cuts here.
There's some deep cuts.
I'm gonna try not to go too deep here. I'm gonna go with I want a Star Wars guy, so I'm gonna go Empire Strikes Back, and I'm gonna go Boba Fett. Definition.
Sure. Oh, he was. Can I say badass?
Yeah.
He was people were scared of him.
That's what I want. So you saw this as a 11-year-old.
Yep.
Thoughts on Empire Strikes Back and Boba Fett? What was that experience?
He was intimidating. He's the guy you want to avoid him. It's like, okay, if Arnold is coming after you, you're in trouble. If Boba Fett is coming after you, you're in trouble.
And the main reason is, I think when Vader was telling Boba to go get Han Solo or somebody, he's like, no disintegrations. And the fact that Vader was saying that to someone was like, whoa, this guy must be cool.
Yep.
Boba Fett, my guy.
And even in in Return of the Jedi, when they found out that Boba Fett was there, Han Solo, Boba Fett.
Yes, you're right. I totally forgot about that. Yep. You're right. Good job. Good reference.
Okay. Need a little more comedy. Again, this is a little bit debatable as well, but Ed Rooney from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
So I thought about his secretary.
I thought about a second, but she was awesome.
She's a bad guy.
She's a bad guy.
And Ed Rooney's the main bad guy in Ferris Bueller's. So I'll let you get secretary. Ed.
So you know who the main bad guy is?
Society?
Society.
Is that where you're going? Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I told that to Mom, and she's like, no, that's stupid.
No, it's stupid, but I rock with it.
It's true.
Yeah, that's dumb, but I'm on board. Good job.
Okay, so Ed Rooney, who's the secondary bad guy to Society from FBDO.
So Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Why don't we have any Ferris Bueller's Day Off shirts? We don't, I can't fit any more t-shirts into the drawer, but
get rid of one of your shirts and I'll get you one.
I've got so many good ones.
I know. Okay, Austin Powers, Mini-Me.
Oh, that's good. And actually, I sent you a funny meme today.
You can tell the people what the meme was.
Okay, you probably describe memes better than I can, but there's a couple of clips where, what's the bad guy's name?
Mini-Me.
No, but what's Dr. What's the bad guy's name?
I don't know. I forget. I'll look it up. Good job.
Okay, but the bad guy, that guy.
From Austin Powers.
Yeah, from Austin Powers. Mini-Me. And they do all sorts of funny little bad things together. And so basically the commentary was
Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil. Yeah, I don't know why we didn't come up with that. So what's happened is Mini-Me just takes on a lot of the characteristics of Dr. Evil. Well, young Isaac Jr. has perhaps taken on a couple of my characteristics that some people find it entertaining and endearing. Some people, maybe somebody who's upstairs right now, doesn't always find it as entertaining, but that's the deal.
Yeah, Mini-Me, really good pick. We'll go well with the Minions. I like that selection.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Probably not the best for 2023. Mini-Me's probably not a character in the remake, but I'm still getting the old one.
Okay, another 80s pull. James Spader. His name was Steph McGee in Pretty in Pink.
Dude.
He was the guy who wore the linen suits. He was just a jerk off. People my age are going to be like, yeah, he was a jerk. He was a bad guy.
Sure. You can get the entire cast of Pretty in Pink. I don't even know who the primary villain is, but you can get that person too. Okay.
The rich people were the primary villain in Pretty in Pink.
Yeah, just like Society.
Similar. You just can't. You have to think laterally. You got to think outside the box.
Okay, I'm not a James Bond guy, but I will dedicate this pick to Doran. Jaws.
Yep.
From Spy Who Loved Me.
Good pick, Anselin.
Not a Bond guy, but I remember watching that Bond as a kid.
By the way, next time you can send me a couple of those ideas.
We didn't even talk about the pod. We talked about the pod as a whole, but not about today's episode. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm not 100% certain, but okay, so Dodgeball. I probably can't pick Dwight Goodman, can I?
No, but you can get any of his teammates.
So then I'm picking the big dude.
Yep.
I don't remember the name. Yep. Who was his main henchman?
I would probably pick the Russian, the other person there.
The woman?
Yep.
No. She ended up being nice at the end.
Yeah, but
she was a little scary as well. But I'm picking his big dude as henchman.
That's a good pick. That's fine.
I don't know his name. Sorry.
Yep. That's pretty weak. Just come on now, bro.
Okay.
How many can you do?
A couple more.
Okay.
They're a little debatable.
Okay, you're just gonna say the Godfather. I will go with. Okay, I'm gonna go with back to Rocky 1 and Rocky 2, and I'm going to get Duke. So Duke would be the secondary to Apollo. We expressed love for Duke as a good guy. This is the less good Duke.
For sure.
He's got one bit that I still watch before sports sometimes, where he's pumping up Apollo, and he's just, man, love you. Woman, love you. Children, love you. You're the man. You're the man. You're the man. And he just fires up Apollo.
He's awesome.
You're number one. You're the champ. And he just gets Apollo going. Give me Duke.
Okay. Fredo from Godfather, because he betrayed his family.
Okay. Yeah.
I knew it was you, Fredo.
Yeah.
I knew it was you. And then Michael shoots him.
Yeah. So who was the main bad guy then? You saying Michael?
Who's the main bad guy in Godfather?
2. You're probably thinking 2 here.
2 is when he got shot.
I'll allow this pick just because he's a bad guy and he's a secondary. But there might be some holes.
Michael's
awesome.
Yeah, I know he's awesome, but he was kind of bad.
Yeah, he's bad. I'm going to go with... This one, it shouldn't be controversial. Django Unchained. Not Candy. Steven. Samuel L. Jackson.
Candy's yeah. For sure. I thought about him.
Django has a bit in the movie where he talks about
I don't know
Steven.
enough of that show, so I couldn't name the character, the movie. So I couldn't name the character.
Next, you'll watch Django in a couple months on Netflix, and you'll be like, dude, this is so good. And it really is.
Okay.
You tell me when you're done.
This is a little debatable as well.
Oh my god.
Sacha Baron Cohen character from Talladega Nights, Jean Girard.
He's the main bad guy.
Well, but they're really... No. I don't know if he's the main bad guy, because his buddy stole his family. He's got to be the bad guy.
Okay, fine.
What's that character's name? What's that actor's name?
Well, it's John C. Reilly.
Yeah, John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
Inserted his picture, and then, he's bad.
Yeah, okay, fine. That's a really good pick then.
Yeah.
Talladega Nights, super underrated.
He's a good bad guy, though. He's drinking espresso, and he's kissing his boyfriend. And just freaking all the Americans out.
Okay. I'm going to go with... Can I go No Way Home here? Can I go Spider-Man No Way Home and get Electro? Jamie Foxx's Electro?
Oh, yeah. For sure you can.
Because there's so many villains there. He's secondary.
But he's secondary bad guy. Yeah,
and I love Jamie Foxx as Electro.
I didn't dip into the superhero stuff because
it gets controversial, but this one isn't.
Okay. I'm going 70s now.
Okay. I can do 70s.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Ooh, I can't do that one.
Buford T. Justice.
Never saw.
Yep. Coach Rob, you got to get my back on this one. Buford T. Justice.
Is that all you got?
Jackie Gleason. Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, so I'll pick one more. Okay. So I'm not going to pick any of these guys. I'm just going to name some names.
Yeah.
Bullet Train. Lots of bad guys. White Death. Michael Shannon is barely in it. But I would say he's secondary.
I agree.
Tot from Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't know if you remember him. Slimy.
Oh, yeah. I did think about him as well.
Yeah. Secondary, I would say... Superman 2, General Zod, I think is Lex Luthor's number 2. Or not. That's fine. Then I'll pick Zod's 2 henchfolk. I like both of them.
Yeah, the big dude.
Yep.
And actually the girl might have been meaner.
Both are very scary. Creed 2, Ivan Drago. The number 2 to Victor Drago in Creed 2. Yep. The new Batman, which is awesome. I wore a Batman shirt last episode.
Overrated.
That's just a bad take. Shout out Cello, got me a sick Batman shirt. Penguin from that Batman. Love
slimy.
I got 2 more. Gollum, secondary, and Return of the King, probably.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. And then here's 70s. Ash from Alien, who's the bot, secondary to the Xenomorph.
True.
So those are some other bad guys.
Good ones.
Okay.
Do
I do Cottage bit?
Let's just talk. So Cottage.
People love it.
Shout out to the Coach Emilios. They had a whole bunch of us up to the Cottage outside of Hale, Michigan. Lots of fun, right? Because parts of 4 different families that were there. Actually, the Chudin family was probably the least represented because there's only 2 of us.
Yep, but our presence was felt.
But I think we represented quite well. Just fun games. Spike ball. Ultimate hide and seek, which I had never played before. That was awesome.
Yep, hide and seek was great.
Yeah, shout out to all the kids who that was a good game.
So shout out to Koch for hosting. Shout out to Sobs for driving me. All respect. Super lucky and fortunate to have just a rockin' family where everyone's just dogs and we can just vibe and just
we get along great and you can do all sorts of different things.
So I will say, I have 6 younger cousins on that side there. All dudes ranging from, I believe, 18 to 5. I think is that.
Yep, that's the range.
So I got 2 18-year-olds, Colin and Noah, essentially their brother status, respectfully.
Yep.
Then you've got a 10, an 8, a 7, and a 5-year-old, respectively.
Yep.
They're all awesome. And
They're all awesome.
since the younger ones are so awesome, they can just do older guys stuff. So spike ball and hide and seek, I guess, is younger. Football, baseball, kayaking.
Pop on a kayak and just so all the younger cousins, every single one of them did more exercise than the other 1,000 people that were around the lake. Americans just they kind
careful.
of well, it's true.
Yep.
They kind of go in their pontoon boats
Yeah.
and drink beer
Yep.
and drive around.
Yep.
Period. That's it. Maybe if you want to deviate, they add a little bit of whiskey later on in the night. Whereas we're doing everything.
So we're doing tubing is an incredible exercise, especially when you're a maniac like me.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not sore today. Maybe a little bit, but I was sore yesterday still.
So tubing, when the raft flips, the tube flips, you're supposed to let go. I tend not to let go. I tend to just
Hold
drag
on.
my body in water and see how long I can stay.
Yep.
Once I pulled myself back up, felt like Superman. So because the younger ones are so cool, we just do all awesome stuff. So
Yep.
good job to them. We're going to talk about UFC super briefly.
Sure, go ahead.
Saturday night, I was a little worried. There was a massive UFC card. I really wanted to watch it. Cousin Noah really wanted to watch it. We had Wi-Fi, which was great. The way the TV was, it's kind of in 7 people are sleeping around us. We're in the TV room there. You got a couple on that wall, a couple behind me. You're on it steps on a couch. You're on a mattress.
6 for sure.
Yeah. Over-under's at 6.5.
Yeah.
So Noah and I are like, we got to watch these fights. So we set up my computer, the TV. We're watching fights. They go rather late. Uncle Dante watches all of them with us. Auntie Steph
Watches almost all.
almost all, falls asleep in the co-main. Then one of the best knockouts in UFC history happens on one of the biggest stages with 2 of the bigger fighters out there. And Noah and I have to celebrate silently. So we're silent high-fiving, jumping up and down, but not making any noise. So just great UFC watching experience. So shout out to Cottage. That's all I got. Wrap things up, big dog.
Okay, next week we have a little fantasy football talk and whatever else cool topic we want to get on. But we need to get some more guests.
Doran and Coach Rob are probably 1 and 2 next.
Yeah,
Coming.
they're high on the list.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody. We appreciate your support. Send us ideas. Send us funny things. Peace out.